Welcome. Feeling so blessed to have you. I'd like to continue my series talking about trauma. And this time I'd like to focus on the body memory and on the somatic aspect. First thing I'd like to mention is trauma does not forcibly have to be a big event. It also can be traumatizing when we experience reoccurring treatment or patterns. It also can leave us disempowered, feeling small or vulnerable. The first thing that trauma does is it strips away your sense of feeling safe within your body, feeling safe within your environment. And the next thing it breaks is the trust in your own abilities, the trust in your own self, but very often also the trust in others. And if we lose the sense of safety and of trust, we usually close the doors. We close the doors to our inner world, we close the doors to our outer world because it just does not feel safe any longer and we might get hurt. And when we close the doors to ourselves, we are retracting our awareness and we're very often shutting down our senses and our perceptions. We are dissociating and we're very often creating this mind bubble where we are fleeing towards. It's like our escape place. We are enhancing overtly into our mind sphere. Well, this is one way how we can deal with trauma. There are other ways, but it's very often that we don't feel much any longer. When we shut the senses down, it really might end up that we don't feel heat in the same way or cold in the same way or pain in the same way because it's just our disconnect because we had to shut it down. And from this place of disconnect, sometimes we try to overdo it. We sometimes live in excess. We sometimes want to feel something. And so we are trying to overindulge in certain things, which is not healthy either. It's both a trauma response, the retraction, and the over excessive. It's trauma speaking to us. And when we are in this situation, when we notice it's not safe inside our bodies, then we very often think the solution out of this trouble, out of our own inner turmoil, is if we are just trying to understand ourselves, if we are creating something in our mind, because we think our mind is so powerful, and it is powerful, but we very often overlook our own body memory, our own somatic aspects, and the importance of our emotions and our perceptions. They are very often even a stronger motivator than our mind sphere. So when we are now so dissociated that we lose ourselves in this bubble of declaring things, this bubble of trying to understand things, I'd like to share my own story there. When I was trying to dissolve trauma or trying to dissolve the inner triggers, I was not even aware that it was trauma. I would not have used this word for my own experiences. But the mess inside was so big and I wanted to get rid of it. So my approach was to simply read books about psychology, read books about trauma, read books about this and that, which could help me understand what was going inside myself much better. And it was super valuable, super insightful, but the trauma did not go away. So you can sort of set your mindset clear. You can gain a lot of epiphanies and insights by reading. And it's super important that you already build this connection of trying to understand yourself and seeing certain responses within your own body. But it would not make sense just to stop there. And if you look at it, you could not dissolve trauma just from a mind perspective, because when you see what trauma is, it's something within the body. It's something within the emotional sphere. And you need to approach it that way. So you need to approach your perceptions, you need to approach your emotions. And that usually is something we avoid big time. It's just too scary. And there's a good reason for it. We experience that it's unsafe there. So the first thing we need to do actually is to recreate a sense of safety. Otherwise, it would just feel overwhelming again and again. And I'm so happy there are endless beautiful modalities which could help you recreate the sense of safety, like somatic experiencing, trauma releasing exercises, or this eye movement therapy. I did not experience that. The other ones I did. But I think you're gonna feel called most likely to a specific method and allow yourself to try it out. But one hint, you can't pull out trauma, you can't push out trauma. It wants its own speed and it needs its own speed. See, when trauma happened, we were pushed into something already. And because of this being pushed or being pulled or being forced into, that's not the way how our inner world is willing to dissolve things. So we need to take a slow and gentle approach very often, being patient with ourselves. And because one thing that was so powerful to me was an exercise where I could create a safe space. And I'm going to place that exercise or a similar one on my channel soon. So I'd like to recommend to you, if you feel drawn to it, listen to it and allow yourself to listen to it more often, because it really can help you to regain some sense of safety within your body. And by that, you are building resilience. And by that, you're able to contain more and able to maybe then meet the perceptions and the feelings that are a reminder of the past, are a reminder of the trauma. So I hope this was helpful. Please leave your comments down below. I'm looking forward to seeing you next time. Take good care and goodbye for now.